go. Living in Las Vegas starts now. Yes, it does. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome from Las Vegas, Nevada, that groovy little podcast that gives you a true first-person look into what it's like to call Sin City your home. The Living in Las Vegas podcast. Here we go. And now your host, a man who clearly needs some kind of introduction, otherwise you wouldn't know who he was.
Sing about the Scotty.
Mr. Scott Whitney. Welcome, everybody, to the Living in Las Vegas podcast here on the Vegas Video Network. Hello. That's nice audience. Hey, and congratulations, because you're watching or listening to the longest running podcast about Las Vegas that actually originates from Las Vegas, which means that we're not only going to cover what it's like to live here, although we will do that, we're going to talk about adventures on the Strip and downtown, Fremont Street, other cool places here in the Valley. And by the way, if you're a visitor, or maybe you're a tourist, wait a minute, you might even be thinking about moving to our fair city. Well, guess what? This show's like your own secret handshake to all things cool and groovy. Can you roll your R's?
I cannot.
Oh, really?
No, I'm
Can
a
you
white
try?
guy.
I'm a white guy.
Yeah, but you grew up in California. That at least borders Mexico.
Yes, riffles have ridges.
You've been to those all-inclusive resorts.
You're damn right I have.
America.
Hedonism. Okay, never mind. Hey, our free show, first and third Tuesday of every month at 7 p.m. Pacific time at VegasVideoNetwork.com/live. Again, VegasVideoNetwork.com/live. Just like Christina Aguilera says, come on over, baby. Be a part of the live show. Why? Because A, you can actually be a part of the live show. How? Get yourself into the live chat. Why? Because you'll be joining those people right there. Some of the nicest people you've ever seen in your whole life. Friendly and fun to be with. Good looking. Very kumbaya. I got Ted and Ben and Bill and Greg and Jags and Jennifer's new. We'll talk about her in a second. All kinds of things about her. Dave and Pops, and we got people from Canada and lots of people in America. Hell, we got people all over the place. It's fantastic. And what else? Oh, let's talk about me just for a second. Hey, let me go back for a minute.
Let's go back.
It's been a while.
We're just previewing that.
I just got to remember why you might want to do that. So you're going to join these people, but there's more to it than just joining the nicest people online.
Well, of course, they get to join you.
Well, hell, you too as well. Happy New Year, by the way.
Same to you.
You get to watch the sausage being made, meaning we start streaming the show early. The official time, 7 o'clock, and the show usually goes from 7 to 8 o'clock, but we start streaming a little early, 15 minutes early sometimes, so you can watch us preparing. For example, today's Haddam clues are going to be craptastic because it just occurred to me about 5 minutes before showtime, I forgot to do those clues. So you got to watch me work on that. It was fantastic. And then there's Vegas Video Network 2.0, Vegas Video Network After Dark. After the show has completed, we keep streaming. You get to watch us really tell you what we feel.
Yep.
Things that we did not want on the record for legal reasons, of course.
I don't know about you, but one of my New Year's resolutions was really just to make 2.0 even more worthwhile.
That's very good. And by the way, I appreciate that about you. You are fantastic. Hey, I'm your host, Scott Whitney. Konnichiwa, buenas noches. How you doing, hot stuff? I am the owner and founder of the Vegas Video Network. So on behalf of all those shows, thanks for watching. And of course, on behalf of this little groovy podcast, thanks for playing along as well. And of course, I'm joined once again, he who remains awesome. It's Pimpin' Wayne, everybody.
I know, I'm fantastic. I'm awesome. Really, just keep those adjectives coming, Scott.
Sure, you're terrific,
Love it.
groovy,
Okay.
fun-loving,
Right.
sweet. Come on, let's not push it, right? Friendly. Come on, no, you're all those things and more. Hey, new in the live chat, we've got Jennifer, one of the few people who are comfortable using their own name. Jennifer's from Ottawa, yet another Canadian.
We were talking about this before we started. They're just super
Canadians,
nice people.
well, they're super nice people, right?
Right.
I've been having some technical problems with a TriCaster.
Seems
What? That almost never happens.
be. I mean, it seems like our signal's still making it through customs up there on the Canadian border.
Let me just check my. Anyway, so Jennifer is from Ottawa, Canada. Beautiful Ottawa, where it's now a balmy, 0? Who knows? And she's found us on the YouTube about a month or so ago. So, Jennifer, welcome to the live chat of the Living Las Vegas podcast. And everybody there will be super, super nice to you because, well, I hope they're just all super, super nice people. That's basically why. What else will they do? All right, let's get started.
They all made their New Year's resolutions. And they were all
Be nicer.
Super nice.
Be nicer to Jennifer. That's our New Year's resolution. Okay. Today's main topic, the first thing you should do when you get to Las Vegas. This is the tourist edition. So you've come to Las Vegas, your first time here, you're like, well, what should I do? Scott, Wayne, do you have some ideas? Yes, we do. We do have ideas. Are they good ideas? Hard to say.
I mean,
probably not.
We've been ruminating on them forever now.
I've been thinking about this for about 3 hours. So remember, kids, if you're going to do a podcast, preparation, pretty important. Preparation H. All right, so here you are. First things that you do when you first get to Vegas, this is the tourist version. I may do I'm thinking of moving here. What are the first things that you should do as well? Maybe that will be a different show coming down the path. You could even do that one.
I could.
We might do one about how to buy a brand new home.
There you go.
You could talk about that, huh?
Look at the ideas. It's
now I have ideas.
Right?
What the hell are they?
It's an idea orgasm.
4 hours ago. Okay, so first thing. So you fly in. Here's one thing you should not do. Don't drive to Vegas from California.
Oh, my gosh.
Have you seen
It was
this?
a 3-hour backup on the 15 to get back to California on
Just a parole.
Monday.
That's 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw an 8-hour backup from here to, where was it? Was it Victorville? Which should be about 2 hours-ish. 8 hours. Unfucking believable, man. Don't drive from California anymore. You should fly. Perfect idea. It's about 45-minute flight from California. Cost you $14. Okay, so here's what you do. You land at the airport. First thing, no taxi. What you want to do is take Uber. No, a couple reasons for that. First, Uber, they're everywhere. And they're basically there. Within 5 minutes, your Uber guy will be there. They might already be there waiting for you to show up. So that's fantastic. It's reasonably priced, better price than a taxi. So you win-win there. And that also kind of falls into should you rent a car? And unless you plan to drive to the Grand Canyon, or you want to drive all the way out to Red Rock, right? If you want to do like big, long, multi-hour trips, well, then you're going to have to rent a car. But I'm against renting a car altogether now because of the paid parking. So now, if you're renting a car and you're at the Venetian, go ahead and rent a car because they're not charging for parking.
Tropicana. Treasure Island. There's some Stratosphere.
There's a couple places. You're right. Mm-hmm. So if you're in one of those places, go ahead and rent a car. But quite frankly, if you're just renting a car so you can bop up and down the strip, screw that. Do Uber. It's the way to go. And you can't beat it. And Lyft is the same thing. But I tend to find the Uber folks tend to be a little bit better in my experience. Okay, now you're at the hotel. You're at the casino. What's the first thing you should do there? Okay, you should try the $20 technique. This is important. This is not a trick. A lot of people call it the $20 trick. Let's be really clear here. That puts you in a bad mindset. In my opinion, I'm trying to trick you with my $20. You're not fooling anybody. We know what's going on. They know what's going on. They've seen it 1,000 times. Oh, shit, that was the $20 trick? Fuck, you've got it. What can I get you? Would you like the biggest one? Yeah, sure, I'll give you whatever you want. No. You're not tricking. What you're trying to do is use a technique, and all you're trying to do is let people know that you appreciate the effort that they may put on your behalf. And so as a quick reminder, basically the $20 technique is you take your credit card, and you take your driver's license, and in between that, you sandwich a $20 bill. And when they ask you for your ID and your credit card, you hand it to them like normal, and then you just basically ask nicely for an upgrade. And there's a lot of different ways to do it. I've done it a couple different ways. Hey, if you can find a way to maybe lift us up a little bit, give us a better update, that'd be fantastic. Otherwise, just keep the money. I appreciate your effort. I do that a lot. It's been completely effective to me, even when they didn't have a room. It worked for me. They gave me $115 worth of credits for $20. It was pretty cool. So do that. And don't feel bad if it doesn't work out. But again, for me, it's worked out. I'd probably say 80%, maybe 85.
So Gregor just asked, do you ever give a person a 20 and they couldn't help you?
Yeah, it happened to me at MGM. So I gave him the 20, and he kind of said, well, I'm not sure. So I said, just take a look. No rush. And we were probably there for 10 minutes. Felt longer, but it was probably just 10 minutes. But 10 minutes is a long time waiting.
You're just standing at the counter.
Yeah. So
And it's not like you're waiting for the people in front of you to be done. You're being waited.
I am the guy. I'm the guy that everybody's like, what the fuck? Just take your key and get out.
Exactly.
Right. So I was that guy.
First time here, buddy? Come on.
Really? And so this guy, I can still remember seeing him. He started to get more and more stressed out about not being able to find me a room. And I said, 5 minutes into it, 10 minutes. And he's like, oh, man, I got to give this back. I said, look, you have put so much effort into this. It was worth $20 just to see somebody work this hard. So just, you're fine. He goes, hold on. Hold on. He goes, how about this? I'll give you $50 in alcohol comms and $50 in restaurant comms and something. I'm like,
oh,
shit,
so they'll buy you a shrimp cocktail and a beer is what he's saying.
Well, yeah, at MGM, that's not so bad. But they gave me $100, $115 worth of comms for $20. So I've never had it not pay off in some way. Okay, next. Let's start planning a little bit here. The average amount of time somebody spends here is 4.5 days. That's gone up, by the way. It used to be 3.5 days. Now it's 4.5 days, unless you're from Europe. And they're here usually 2 weeks at a time, those lucky bastards. So let's start planning. First, let's book a nice dinner. Now, there's plenty of places to eat here, and you don't have to have a nice dinner at a nice restaurant every night. But at least one night, treat yourself to a nice dinner, because there are some of the best restaurants in the United States are here in Las Vegas. Some of the best food, some of the best service. Now, anybody who's watched this show or listened to this show for any amount of time are probably thinking I'm going to say Capitol Grill. We've gone to Capitol Grill the last 3 or 4 New Year's. It's my go-to place. I used to have a wine locker there. And the truth of the matter is,
Tomahawk said no.
Capitol Grill is no longer on my list.
Really?
It's gone.
Wow.
Heartbroken.
This is news.
Yes, it is news. It's crazy. So the last 2 times we've been there, and this is probably the last 2 times over the course of the last 3 months. The thing that first of all, I got to step back and say that I'm a steak dinner guy. This is my thing.
Right.
This is
that and Caesar salad.
Caesar salad and steak dinner. That's right. So the last
Oh my God, if you have tableside Caesar.
Then, and where I'm about to tell you, does. The last 2 times there, it's just kind of gone off the rails. The service was okay, but what really screwed up was the ribeye steak wasn't as good as the ribeye steak I've been having there for the last 10 years. 10 years I've been loving this place.
Wow.
And I don't know what happened. I don't know.
By Vegas standards, that's getting a little long in the tooth.
Yeah. I mean, and I've been to a lot of other places. So it just dropped off. And the first time it happened, I thought, everybody has a bad day. Sure. They never have, but what are you going to do? So I went back again. This is probably 2 months ago. And it was the same thing. The steak was not as good. Their sauteed mushrooms are still fantastic, probably the best in the world. But the steak wasn't as good. The service was okay. I mean, like, God, what the? So for Christmas dinner, we decided to go to Delmonico's. Now, Delmonico's is at the actually between the Venetian and the Palazzo. So they're connected by some stuff, including a whole bunch of restaurants. And Delmonico is in there. It is, I think it's an Emerald Lagasse property. Is that right? I think it is. It's been around for a very long time. It was probably one of the first really nice restaurants here. And we went back on Christmas. As a matter of fact, a friend of mine.
It is an Emerald restaurant.
It is? Okay. A friend of mine went or asked me for a recommendation last week. And I told him this place as well. And he wrote me like a 3-paragraph thing saying how great this restaurant was. So here's what's great. The ribeye, fantastic.
So it's like me.
Yes, just like you. The very first bite of anything is usually pretty good. It's the second and third bite, and the 10th bite, it is just like you, actually. How about that?
That's when the E. coli sets in. And I got you at that point.
Right. How long have you been a ghoul? Well, So this steak was 20 bites in, it was still as good as the first bite. That's unheard of. And they always asked, would you like some sort of goo? They have some kind of goo, whatever. No. This is not, I don't want any A1 steaks. I'm not at Outback. What I want is a great ribeye steak, bone-in ribeye preferably. Let's go. No goo, just no salt, no pepper. Just give me what you got. Let me see what you got. No, nothing.
Look at you.
Oh, nothing.
Mr.
This is the test.
Yeah.
Listen, I can go to Outback. I think it's still the best steakhouse in all of Las Vegas.
No, we covered that 3 shows. But okay.
And you put enough salt on anything. That's pretty good. Anything, even watermelon. Salt's pretty good on watermelon, by the way. It's kind of weird, but it's true. But no, you test it by not having anything. No goo, no salt, no pepper. It's the way they cook it. Now, they're adding their own spices or whatever. Good. Let's go. That's what you get. Fantastic. You mentioned Caesar salad.
Yes.
How about...
I know you're in love with it.
How about tableside Caesar salad at Delmonico's? What? Now, my kind of favorite tableside is they actually crack the egg there, and nobody in Las Vegas does it. I think it's a health issue. They don't want you to be cracking raw eggs for the guests.
Just spread that salmonella around.
Right. When I first discovered that style of Caesar, it was in Mexico. Fuck, Mexico doesn't care.
Health code?
There you go.
Police?
But it was so good. But here you can't get that. And there's only a handful of places I've been to that do tableside. Delmonico's, the Golden Steer, the place with the flower at Four Queens.
Oh, the basement.
Yeah.
Hugo's Cellar.
Hugo's Cellar. But they all do the same thing. It's partially created already, with the egg part, and then they add some other crap and they mix it up. And they have anchovies.
Yes.
Are what you have to have. And then they have a fantastic drink menu there. Really good drinks. And you can get good drinks in Las Vegas. As a matter of fact, we'll talk about that in a second. But really good, well thought out, tasty drinks. And the service is impeccable. This is one of those restaurants where you have multiple people serving you at the same time. So you have like a major maitre d', and then you got the takeaway guy, and then you have a drink person. They're all running around you and kind of making sure everything's great. Your bread okay? Would you like some more water?
Which you love, because that makes you feel important.
Sure as hell does. Yeah, hell yeah. Fantastic. And if they got a time, they'll chat with you a little bit about oh, yes, that drink is particularly fantastic. We might want to try a little bit. Yeah, that's what I want. If I just want to order my food, I'll go to McDonald's. I want to know something about this food. Tell me something. So get yourself a deal over at Delmonico's. Okay, now, speaking of drinks, I want you to make time for a nice drink. Listen, we know that drinks on the Strip are expensive. Mm-hmm.
Depending on where you go, you want yourself a $1 Michelob or $1 margarita, get yourself to Casino Royale.
Right. That's right.
That still exists.
That's right. And there's one place that has $5 or 5-cent beers. I think it's the place connected to Margaritaville. From like 5 to 6, you can get nickel beer or some shit like that. Yeah. So you can do that. Mm-hmm. But there and so when you go to a regular drink and you order yourself a regular bar and you go get a Crown and Diet, you're like, what do you mean it's $13? It's $14. Yeah.
Right.
Why is it that little glass that you get at strip clubs? I'm not sure if that's true, by the way. I've just heard those are the glasses that you see at strip clubs. I don't have any first-hand knowledge.
Yelp.
Yelp, saw, pick. But there is a place where you can spend $18 for a drink and it's worth every bit of $18. A couple places, as a matter of fact. And I will tell you what they are now. First, back to Venetian again. It's a restaurant or a bar called the Dorsey, Dorsey. My favorite bar in Las Vegas right now is the Dorsey. It is fantastic. It's one of those places, very much like the laundry room, where you can go to the bartender and say, I like this flavor and this flavor and this flavor, and then they'll go off and make you a drink. Mm-hmm.
For us people who don't have unlimited expense accounts, downtown cocktail room, very similar.
Yeah. So there's a number of places and I'm talking about the Strip. Like I'm not going to talk about the laundry room. I'm not going to talk about downtown cocktail. And they do that. But the vibe of Dorsey is to die for. It's gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. And the waitstaff is great, and the bartenders are great. They know their shit. He made me a drink. I don't know what the hell. Well, it was a made-up drink in one of these big, giant brass monkey things that was... Although, I will say, absinthe, the drink, you ever had it?
Yes.
Do you like it?
I was with some friends. We smuggled it in from Canada and from Ontario, where some of our friends are in the chat room right now are living.
Yeah, yeah.
And so a friend bought it. He smuggled it in, and so we did it the traditional way, where you get a slotted spoon with sugar and you pour it over that.
Yeah.
It was okay. I didn't like.
It tastes like licorice.
I didn't hear colors.
Yeah.
Or see flavors.
I keep
things like that.
I keep forgetting what that stuff tastes like. I'm kind of like, oh yeah, that sounds exotic. Put that shit in there. It's licorice, and I don't like licorice in my drink. So black licorice, by the way, like my heart. So I have to remember not to do that. Okay, the other one, it's a new bar in the Palazzo called Rosina, Rosina, very small bar owned by the same people that own the Dorsey. So it's kind of, they'll explain this to you when you walk in. It's supposed to be like a super fancy railroad car. And the thing that's off-putting about this that takes a little getting used to is whereas at the Dorsey, all their drinks are basically signature drinks. So they have names that you've never seen and probably ingredients that you're not used to putting together. At Rosina, at Palazzo, they're actually trying to argue that we can make the drinks that you've always heard of, the Manhattan, the dark and stormy, so on and so forth, but we're going to make them better than you've ever had them before. And we've had a drink there, and it was better than any of those types of drinks we've had before. But it's sometimes hard to get your head wrapped around paying $18 for a dark and stormy. And then the other place I'd say for a great drink is a Chandelier Bar. It's a gorgeous property. The Cosmo's a nice property. The Chandelier Bar is very, very cool. They have multiple layers, and each layer of that Chandelier Bar has different drink options as well. So a different drink menu. So level 1's one menu, level 1.5 is a menu, level 2 is a different menu, which is pretty cool as well. So get yourself a nice fancy drink. Now, do some people watching. Allow yourself time to do people watching. I don't think people do enough of that. And by the way, you can do this for hours in Vegas and not really spend much money, but just hanging out. My favorite people watching places are across the street from the Bellagio fountain. So it's either Cabo Wabo, which is at Planet Hollywood, and it's slightly raised. It's actually about 9 feet off the floor or off the strip height. So you're about 9 feet above everybody. So you can see the fountain really, really well. People aren't walking in front of you, so no one's blocking your view, but you can still see everybody. And it's Cabo Wabo, so it's not terribly expensive. And if you like, Corona beer, fuck, it's a great place to go. Get a bucket of Corona for, I don't know, $25, or that's probably not true, but whatever. Or Mon Ami Gabi, which is a French restaurant across the street from, at the Paris Hotel and Casino, again, across the street from Bellagio. Of course, you can people watch at any bar anywhere or any restaurant anywhere inside this. Well, you can just sit in the corner somewhere.
I used to love to go down to Fremont, right across from Heart Attack Grill.
The big Hennessy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they have a small pad. It doesn't extend too far.
Yeah.
But in front of Heart Attack Grill, they have a scale.
Yeah, yeah.
And because if you're over 300 or 350 pounds, something like that, you eat for free at Heart Attack Grill.
Right.
So you get people that want to see how much they weigh, and then they try to get like their kids, or they try to get their girlfriend on there, or the girl goes on by herself.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it tells you what you're actually, it's a scale with the big red LED numbers.
That's right.
So just to see people's reaction to that, and good. People try to like pull other people on there and they don't want to go. And the whole dynamic with that is plus you're just on Fremont was always my favorite.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Fremont Street, it's a different class of people watching than say the Strip, but it's good people watching. That's a great location. Well done. Okay, now you've got to book at least one big show. There are 147 shows in Las Vegas at any given time.
Wow.
Plus or minus.
Well, Chris Angel's calling it quits, so it's going to be 146 in just a little bit.
And I'm not sure that's a Cirque show anymore. They've removed Cirque logos from there completely. So completely nothing that says Cirque on there anymore.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
I don't know if I want to be associated with him either if I was.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised
But anyways.
That train left the station a long time ago. I'm surprised it lasted as long as it did. I don't mean that in the nicest possible way.
Absolutely.
But so you got to book a show. A lot of shows here, a lot of A's and B's and C's and D level shows. I'm going to talk about 2 A shows that you've got to look out. And as a matter of fact, Vegas We has named them in the live chat already, kind of like a psychic guy, Vegas We. And I would say you got to go see Absence. Absence is the show in front of Caesar's Palace. It's in a big tent. It was a show that was supposed to be there for a temporary 6-month kind of gig, and I think it's probably been there now for 5 or 6 years. It is fantastic. It is super funny, but it is risque. And, there's a lot of swearing in there, so if you're easily offended, you should absolutely not go to Absence. A good friend of ours who apparently is easily offended found it, wait for this, offensive. Right? So don't go there if you're easily offended. If you don't like the word fuck, you should absolutely not go to that show. But if you do like the word fuck, then hell, you should be going there front page. It's very good. All right. Or you got to go see a Cirque show. Everybody, especially the entertainers here, are always pissing and moaning about Cirque shows. They're pissing and moaning about Cirque shows because they're good and they draw a lot of audience members there. And that pisses them off. Why don't you come to our show? Because you're not doing that. Or that fly kind of thing. And that's music that doesn't have any real words, but I can't get it out of my fucking head after I left the place. And I'm buying the CD and I'm searching Spotify for that. Yeah, that's why it's fucking magic. Okay, so what shows do you want to see that are Cirque shows? There's 7 or 6, depending on whether...
Chris Angel counts or...
I'm a little unclear on that now, but I would say if you want a classic Cirque show, go see Mystere. Which is at TI. It is the Cirque shows that I've been seeing even before I came to Vegas. It's gorgeous. It's the quintessential Cirque music, the flying around, the comedic stuff going on here and there. It's a great show, but when you compare it to the new stuff, it can look a little dated. So if you've not been to a Cirque show, you should go to this. If you have been to a Cirque show, then I would say either go see Ka, which is at MGM, or LiLV, which is at Mirage.
7 total. They count 7 of them on their website.
Okay.
The Chris Angel show, still a Cirque show on their website.
Yeah, but there's no branding on it at all.
Yeah.
It's so weird. So anyways, Ka, MGM, this is one of the few shows that actually has a story thread all the way through it. And some pretty cool stuff, like people shooting arrows above your head. It's kind of an interesting little move. Or LiLV, which is based upon the Beatles stuff. LiLV was the show I've seen. I've seen it probably 3 times. The first time I saw it, it affected me for 3 days.
Now I have to
after
ask,
watching the show.
You're a Beatles fan.
I'm not, and
Really?
That's why I was surprised. That's a great question. No, I always thought the Beatles were pretty creepy. Actually, I never knew. I knew they were great writers, McCartney and Lennon. I mean, holy shit, best songwriters in the world. But I always had kind of a weird vibe about them. I never really liked...
Ringo do that to you?
No, I like Ringo, actually. He seems like a nice enough guy. I'd have a drink with Ringo. I went and saw LiLV. We went with our family. We were up in the fucking cheap seats. I'm like, well, we're going to go because it's going to be...
There is such a thing, relatively speaking.
Yeah. Well, it's cheap if you're local. I was watching this thing, and it is very unlike most Cirque shows. In there, they don't have as much of that big flying acrobatic stuff. It's all very Beatles themed stuff. And you see audio, you hear audio of the actual original Beatles, and you see lots of video of them, and then the acting that's going on in the middle. And after that show, this was in early 2010 when I saw it for the first time, I was completely freaked out. And I thought, Jesus Christ, a couple things. First, I am so proud to be a human, because humans did that, and I am one of those people. The second thing I thought is I am not working hard enough. They're doing great work, and I'm fiddle fucking around here. I got to do something. I started the Vegas Video Network that same year, and that was partially because I've got to do more than just doing podcasts for other companies, which is what I was doing at the time. So it hugely influenced me. Now, they've changed it a little bit. It's not quite as sharp as I liked it the first time, but if you haven't seen it, go see LiLV. Okay, next up, let's go ahead and save some money on some walking around drinking here. Okay, so first, you'll see a lot of people who come here a lot who will stop by a liquor store before they come to their hotel.
Well, there's one in the airport.
There is called the library. I think it's
library.
called. Liquor library. The problem with the liquor librry is it's super clever, and literally you come down the escalator, it's right
It
there.
is so bright, and it
Brilliant.
flies to a bug light.
It is brilliant.
It just pulls you right
The
in.
problem is it's not cheap.
No. Because once you get to the register, then much like the bug light, you get zapped.
Oh, what the? Ouch! What the? Hey! Everybody thought, oh, this is fantastic. I'll pick up my booze here and get my luggage, and we're off and running. Yeah, except for the part is that you're still going to spend a shitload of money for that bottle of Crown. So I'm not a big fan of the liquor library. A lot of people go to liquor stores. For me, it's hard to do that because I'm excited. I don't want to stop at, Five and Dime and go, yeah, let me get a bag of that. It's just hard for me to do it. But if you do that, Total Wine, which is at the south part of the Strip, or actually just right across from Fry's Electronics, so it's south of Mandalay Bay. That's the place to go if you're going to go somewhere, because they've got everything. They've got
prices.
cheap, they've got expensive, they got good prices. They have everything except for the best rum in the world, which of course is Diplomatico rum. They don't have that. What? But that's not what
we talked about earlier. No one's perfect.
No, but here's the thing. What you really want to do if you just want to roam around Vegas, roam around the Strip with a beer in your hand or a drink in your hand, don't buy it at a bar, because you're going to spend a lot of money for that. Instead, go to the hotel's sundry shop. Every hotel has one. Every hotel sells beer and wine and all, and like margaritas in a glass or whatever. They all have them, and they're cheap. There's so much cheap. Comparative speaking. Yeah. There's so much cheaper. And a lot of these sundry shops have 2-for-1 deals, which is fantastic. So that's a big tip. Go there to buy your alcohol. Now, Wayne brought this up, and I agree that you shouldn't forget the Fremont Street experience. It is something that you must experience at least once. The truth is, it's not for everybody. I know a number of people who want nothing to do with Fremont Street, and if it were up to them, they would never go down there again. I happen to really like it. It's a fun place. Live music, 3 stages, doesn't cost anything. I accept. Now, right now, it's very, very cold. I think it's 47 degrees
Might be.
And I am unwilling to go out in that. See, that's just pissing off everybody from Ottawa, right? And Jennifer's like, that guy sucks. But you got to go there for
right now.
How much is it? 52. It's 52.
Still cold though. Once
chilly.
The sun goes down,
we're done. Woo. Right. I like when the sun goes down when it's still 90 degrees outside. That's fantastic. So you go down to Fremont Street. Why? Because Wayne talked about this before. People watching. It's fantastic.
It's different.
It's completely different.
It's a completely separate. It's the yang.
The ecosystem is just completely different. The vibe is different. The casinos are completely different. It's old school Vegas. I mean, literally all school. Now there's some things that are updated. For instance, the Golden Nugget is a gorgeous property, and the Golden Nugget, you could take the Golden Nugget, put it on the Strip, and it would be fine. It's a 4-diamond, AAA 4-diamond property, or 5-diamond, or whatever it is. It could handle that without any problem. But the other properties there, Four Queens, for example, these are quaint, old school, kind of fun places to hang out. The people watching is great. The drinking is great. The live music is great. You want to keep an eye out. Make sure that you're aware of your surroundings and stuff. And then,
but that's true anywhere.
It is. I think it seems to be a bit more necessary at Fremont Street than it is, say, across the street from the Bellagio. And that's just from personal experience, not mine, but people I've been with. And then if you feel like you kind of want to get out a little bit, go to Fremont East. In other words, just keep going east on Fremont beyond 4th Street, and then you'll go in this place that's called Fremont East. Some great bars, including Downtown Cocktail Lounge and Commonwealth and a variety of other places. My favorite pizza in Las Vegas actually is there, which is Evil Pie, the Evil Knievel themed pizza place. And if you like sushi, I should say Thai food. They've got a good Thai restaurant down there, a good Mexican restaurant down there. It's a pretty cool place to hang out. Don't Tell Mamas is kind of cool to hang out. So I would say that. Okay, and then finally, I want to give you a good view. I want you to be able to go somewhere and be able to see all the Strip. And there's really only a handful of great places to do that. Of course, the first place is the Stratosphere. God bless them, you can still park for free. Go up to the Lounge 107. And by the way, as Wayne has talked about before, you don't have to pay for that if you tell him you're going there.
And happy hour. 2-for-1 from I think 4 to 6 or 4 to 7.
There you go. So if you just go there and go, I want to go to the top, they'll charge you to go to the very top if you just want to look at stuff. But if you say, I want to go to Lounge 107, they'll be like, the elevator's that way. So probably one of the best views of Las Vegas anywhere. So that's my first pick if somebody goes, I just need a great view. But here's another cool place, is Mandarin Oriental, which is at City Center. Now, this is the non-gaming property, one of two non-gaming properties in City Center, the other being Vivara, whatever that damn place is called. Vidara. But Mandarin Oriental is on the Strip. So when you go up to the 32nd floor at that bar, it's another expensive, nice bar, but the view there is fucking fantastic. So that's the second place. Third place, Skyfall Lounge, which is at Delano. There used to be a place called Mix. I'm not clear if that was the same place, but that's if you want to be at the south part of the Strip and see all the way up. Skyfall Lounge is, and then also at the Link, the High Roller, which is that big wheel. It goes around, takes a half hour to make its rotation. There's some pretty cool views there. The downside, of course, is that part of your trip, you're below the casinos. So you're looking at the backside of the Link, backside of Bally's. Right?
Yeah. You get that nice view of that parking lot.
Nice
it
parking
extends
lot.
out to Koval.
So if you're an urban planner, fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
Right? You'd be like,
that's the ingress and the egress.
That's how they do that. Man, I wonder how wide those things need to be. Wow. That fits both a Mazda and a Cadillac.
And that the facade right there on the Stage Door Casino. Remember the corner of...
But you can't see that from the High Roller. Stage
really?
Door is way over there. If this is High Roller, if you are the Strip and I'm the High Roller, Stage Door is over there. You can't see it.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
You'd be able to.
No.
Oh.
Although Stage Door is not a bad place for you to drop by and get your $1 beer or $2 shots or whatever it is.
With like a hot dog, I think.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah. So High Roller, 40% blockage is my guess. But pretty much for all of these, you got to go to all of these at night. That's when you want to check out these things. Anything I missed here, Wayne?
My favorite thing after touching down was I would go to the Paris and get a pina colada.
No.
Because it's Paris.
Yes.
And so it was a little more fancy. So rather than just like they pull the lever on the machine and there you go.
Right.
They actually they made it in a blender by hand, and they used real coconut milk and pineapple juice. It was artfully done. Very rich, and it was delicious.
Right.
I get it in the big Eiffel Tower, the plastic ones. I don't
Of course.
think they make them anymore.
Oh, they have to make those.
But
though.
about halfway through, it was so rich you just get sick on it. So that's when it's like, all right,
I'm in Las Vegas.
I'm here now. Here we go.
Right.
So you touched on the free money, touched on the stratosphere.
I'm in a diabetic coma. I'm home.
So no, those are the must do's. Now I do have to say, I will just disagree with you. I liked renting a car because when I came from, I'm coming out on vacation from whether it's Ottawa, Poughkeepsie, Cleveland, nothing to me was more fun than going to the rental car center and picking up my rental Mustang convertible, and you hit the button and you put the top down on that, and then you go out and you hit the strip, and it was fantastic.
In days gone by, I get it. Not now. Now you have to pay $14 to $18 a day to park it. That's my problem.
Do they charge hotel guests though?
Yes. That's
Really?
the big piss off. Yes.
I thought that. Okay.
Yes. Yeah,
I
that's
thought some places grandfathered your parking.
No.
Fee.
None of the places that charge for parking aren't charging tourists
Because
for parking.
I thought if you put your room key in, you got.
Well, I should say this. There are some. You have a good point. There are some levels of player cards that you don't pay for parking. That's true. Like your level. And like my level at MGM, I don't pay for parking. As a matter of fact, at my level at MGM, I don't pay for special events. Like the Vegas Golden Knight tickets are $25 for parking. I don't pay that because I'm a military, at MGM. So I'm just talking about it. I don't know what percentage of people who come to Vegas are actually have player cards. I'm going to say it's less than 20. You actually probably know this. Do you know? I'd have to say less than 20%. So the vast majority of people are just coming. They don't come here enough to do that. So that's my issue with driving. I mean, if you have your own car and you're not being charged to park like it used to be when Vegas actually had a clue and they felt comfortable that the product that they were putting out there was good enough, which they don't feel now, otherwise they wouldn't be charging for parking, then I would say yes. Drive your Mustang with the top down and cruise up and down the strip.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Of course it is. But otherwise, let's not do it. Hey, let's have a drink. Righty. It's time for Have a Drink on Me. It's part of that show where I show you a picture of a bar or a speakeasy or not a club, a lounge, though. We will do a lounge.
If the music sounds like
we don't do it.
Turn right back around.
Can't have it. But if I show you a picture of this bar and you look at it and go, hey, what? I think I know that place. What you're going to do is you're going to send in your entry. Now, Scott, where do you send that entry to? You send it to Have a Drink at VegasVideoNetwork.com. Again, have a drink at VegasVideoNetwork.com. There's 5 chances to win. If you send us a correct answer, that's one way we put your name in a hat. If you submit an entry and you're in the live chat during this selection, boom, we're going to put your name in the hat twice, so you've now doubled your pleasure. If you send a video guess, like Pops does, boom, we're going to give you another entry. As a matter of fact, Pops has claimed that if you do that, he'll give you another entry. Basically, if he wins, he'll give it to you. That's how much he loves you. If you are the very first correct entry, boom, we give you another entry. And if you provide an intro to the whole show, saying something like, hey, everybody, I'm Scott Whitney from Poughkeepsie, and you're watching the Living in Las Vegas podcast on the Vegas Video Network. You make a video like that, we get another one. So you have 5 chances.
Have you ever been to Poughkeepsie?
I don't even know where Poughkeepsie is.
Oh, okay.
This is one of my favorite words to say. I bet you somebody knows where Poughkeepsie is. I'm going to say Ohio.
I think it's New York.
New York. I think you're right. Damn it. Now, what can they win? Wayne is going to tell you what you can win.
Listen, kids, there might be 59 more days until Christmas, but you can get an early jump on the season.
Do it.
Because with one of your living in Las Vegas winning Haddam entries, you can get yourself, sure, they could jazz-a-thon, but how about let's talk Christmas Acoustic? Let's talk Christmas Acoustic 2. Yeah, maybe you've just got done listening to it incessantly for the past 2 or 3 weeks.
The last 3 winners have selected CD number 1, Christmas Acoustic.
Yeah, and then now's the time to get yourself a follow-up album. Yeah, there's Jazz-a-thon. It's non-secular.
It's great.
You can go through it's good anytime. But come on, what are we all showing up for? The Christmas music.
Or
you can get yourself a Vegas Video Network visor. Now, there's an asterisk with this. Visors will be mailed when Scott Whitney feels like mailing them. Do not wait 8 to 10 weeks for processing. If you're okay with those terms, and maybe following up and having to...
And a red one. That's all we have left right now.
Right. Then, yeah, you can get your Vegas Video Network visor. Deliveries may vary.
Or...
Hey, those drinks that Scott just talked about, maybe you want to get yourself a $13 drink and not pay for it. Then you can get invited by Scott Whitney to go down to the Strip. Maybe you do some people watching up at Fremont. Maybe ask him to check out that new Dorsey he was talking about.
No. That's not an option, by the way. Let's clarify that.
Again, locations may vary.
Right.
And he will get you that drink here in Las Vegas.
All right. Thank you very much, Wayne. Now, there's one other special thing that happens, of course, if you are a winner. Well, it's actually very exciting, and you win, and you say, Scott, I'm gonna roll the dice. I'm gonna take a chance. Maybe, just maybe, I get one of these visors. So you.
That's when right now that's a 50-50 probability.
It's 2018. No one's gonna lie to you anymore. So you get one of these, and you're like, oh, this looks pretty fantastic. I think I might take a picture. So you.
Selfies, I believe they're called.
Sure, yeah, I've heard that before. Mm-hmm. And then you send that selfie to me, and I look at it and go, oof, that's a good-looking man right there. I think I'll have a little bit of that. Then I put you in a group of other people. Really? Mm-hmm. What kind of people? Oh, those people are referred to as the galaxy of God. There's Bill and Mr. Testy and Steve and Michael and Robert and Rosie and Mike Michael again and again, and Scott and Binky and Bud, and then there's Adam and his wife Erin, who are newest, and Bob and his wife, and Danny and Shannon, Chen, and Craig and Glenn, Jimmy, 2Gs, and Rob, and then there's more. There's Ken in Hawaii, and Stuart and Christina, whose all babies are because of my music, and Don and Jackie and Mike. And then there's Pops and Sandy and Carol and Adarv and Chris and Brett's dad, your buddy Scott. Let's not forget our other buddy Wayne. And then, of course, there's Brett. All right. Hooey. Yeah, 19 out of 21 this time.
Shocking.
Yeah. And here is last episode's Have a Drink on Me. And the clues were Golden Spike. The gold spike, not golden.
No, just gold.
Gold spike, gold spike, gold spike. And let's begin,
I
shall
haven't
we?
been there in a while.
Either have I. I was there when it first became that.
Oh, I've been there many times after that, but I just
I was there probably there. I've been there. They had I discovered a really good band there called the Altogether's. It's hillbilly jazz. Isn't that a great term for music?
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
It's fantastic.
Oh, okay,
They're
I'll
great.
take your word for it.
Come on, man. Expand a little bit, Wayne. It's 2018, baby. Let's get expansive. Let's get expansive. All right, here we go. Our first winner, Monica Fagan, 1 for the correct answer. Monica gets 1 for being in the live. I'm sorry. No, she gets 1 for the first correct answer. I don't see her in the live chat today. We continue on. Ben McGovern, 1 for the correct answer. Ben is in the live chat. 1 for being in the live chat. Way to go. Bob Thomas from St. Augustine, Florida. 1 for the correct answer. Next up, we've got Dan Jaga. 1 for the correct answer. 1 for being in the live chat. Next up, we've got Mr. Testy, Gary Romberg. Well, previous winner, Mr. Testy is. 1 for the correct answer. Mr. Testy, 1 for being in the live chat. Tom Uglin, 1 for the correct answer. Michael Snow, who writes, miss chatting during the live show. Yeah, he used to be in the live chat a lot. Anyways, Happy New Year's to you, to Wayne, and to all the living in Las Vegas community. Thank you, Michael. Next up, we have Woody Acord, 1 for the correct answer, and I believe that's Woody in the live chat as well. Woody. Next up, we have Richard, also known as Phase Jitter. Phase Jitter, 1 for the correct answer. Phase Jitter, 1 for being in the live chat. And we continue on. Oops, almost missed one there. Eric, 1 for the correct answer. Eric did a very nice thing for his girlfriend, fiance, something like that. If it's not your fiance, sorry, Eric. You're about ready to get pressured into it. He bought her some advertising space on the Living in Las Vegas podcast, and we'll be starting to do that our next show. Eric's a pretty nice guy. 1 for the correct answer.
It's not like the marriage proposal, is it, where you just completely let that out of the bag?
No. He gave it to her for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Made a little card, and you're living in Las Vegas, diamond, and that's pretty cool, actually. Bill 9836, 1 for the correct answer, 1 for being in the live chat. Bill 9836. Then we've got Terry from Canada, and by the way, he just says he can't tell me how much he enjoys the Living in Las Vegas podcast.
Have you met a friendlier nationality of people?
No.
I haven't either.
Connecticutans. I love those Canadians, eh? Eh? Canadians.
I love myself some Tim Hortons.
What's Tim Hortons? What is that?
It's the Canadian Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, okay. Jack, or also known as Jake the Rake, 1 for the correct answer. Andy in New Hampshire, 1 for the correct answer. Paul, who goes by Condor 954, 1 for the correct answer. 1 for being in the live chat. Condor 954.
Renee can't believe you didn't know what Tim Hortons
Hey,
was.
don't push me, man. I'm under a lot of pressure.
You said Condor gets an extra?
Yeah, Condor 954. Graham something or other. Can't read my writing.
Forgive him, Renee.
Graham
he
Pham.
does not know.
Yeah. We continue on. Eric, Aces of Bats. 1 for the correct answer. Johnny Bravo. Is Johnny in there? Yeah, Greg Tappa. So Greg Tappa is 1 for the correct answer. Gregor Tappa, 1 for being in the live chat. Steve I, the wise guy. 1 for the correct answer. Mike Q. 1 for the correct answer. And Mike Q, 1 for being in the live chat. And then we've got our last entry, which is Pops. 1 for the correct answer. 1 for being in the live chat. And one more.
The Pops notepad.
You put the third one in there for this entry.
Hey kids, this week's correct Head'em answer is the Gold Spike downtown. Used to be the Gold Spike Casino, but it's no longer a casino, just a bar. Got a lot of cool games in there, kind of an adult way to get away from downtown while still being downtown. I give this one a thumbs up. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year to you, Pops.
Ah, so cool. I got the green screen moved permanently into the corner where the big white drum kit used to be because the electronic drum kit does not take up nearly as much room. Sweet!
Somebody got a toy. All right. Way to go, Pops. Okay, let's pick a winner. Again, if you're in the live chat, you've taken advantage of a few things. And Binky and Pops got triples because they added a little extra. There you go.
All right. As always, remember the results of this contest are certified by Ernst & Young afterwards.
But are not binding. You may not actually win, but you're a winner in our book.
All right. Here we go. And the Emmy goes to
Dan Jaggers, I'm assuming. Way to go, Dan. You won yourself a visor or a drink on your buddy Scott or one of our CDs. Congratulations.
visors are in back order.
This is this week's Have a Drink on Me. La-da-dee. This will be a tough one because I'm not going to give you very good hints. Actually, I'll give you a fourth hint that's fantastic. Ready? Here we go. Hit number one. Huh?
I know what this is.
Do you? Well, you should. We talked about it during the show. That's hint number one. We talked about it during the show. The first half of the show, we mentioned this bar. Hit number one, we mentioned this bar in the first half of the show. Hit number two, it's a woman's name. Hit number two, it's a woman's name. Hit number three, if it was named after a woman and her last name was Buckman, she would be a New Zealand soprano. If it was named after a woman and her last name was Buckman, she would be a New Zealand soprano, and going under the same idea. If it was named after a woman and her last name was Thompson, she'd be a British trance medium. Whatever the hell that is. If it was named after a woman and her last name was Thompson, she would be a British trance medium. If you know the name of this bar, you're going to send that guest to have a drink at VegasVideoNetwork.com. Again, have a drink at VegasVideoNetwork.com. Wayne. Yeah! Axl Rose is a bitch. Okay.
Still out there, though.
Haven't done one of these in a while. I feel like we got to get caught up, so we're gonna do one real fast just to get going here. Normally we do this by if it's a woman who sends the email, then Wayne will read it. If it's a guy, I'll read it. But since we haven't done this in a while and it's fun to listen to your dulcet tones, you'll be reading this one. This is from Benjamin McGovern, who's in the live chat right now. Benjamin writes.
Benjamin from the live chat writes, Scott.
Yes.
First off, thank you very much for the show, as I very much enjoy it and look forward to both shows each month.
De nada.
He's, of course, referring to the free show on the first and third Tuesday.
That's right. He's not paying for it because he's a cheap bastard.
Second, are you still thinking of doing paid shows?
Yes.
Would very much enjoy more living in Las Vegas.
Oh, Benjamin, I like you. You're not a cheap bastard. I take all that back.
2 shows ago, I won the weekly contest. You just picked a winner from the chat room that week. And I would love to get a hat. My address is below.
He did.
Also, one last question.
Please.
I heard you mention on the show that you had Golden Knights partial season tickets.
They are 4-0 when the Whitneys are in the house. 4-0. We've had 5 tickets. We lent them to somebody, Nick. They lost.
Well, that must be
we have to be there. Please continue.
I was curious if you had the Minnesota Wild game on the 16th of March in your plan. Yeah. I'll be in Vegas that weekend and would love to catch a game while I'm in town. If you have those tickets and they're available, I would love to buy them. If not, no big deal. Again, thank you for the great show, and I'm looking forward to many more great hours of entertainment. Regards, Ben. Ben included his address down here, which I will read during the 2-point or the after show.
First of all, thanks, Ben, for the email. No, I do not have tickets for that particular show, but tickets are available on a variety of places, including StubHub. You should have no problem finding tickets there, and you should go. Actually, Wayne was suggesting that we do a show about the Vegas Golden Knights and my experience there, and I will give you the Reader's Digest version of that, which is fucking fantastic.
Ticket prices are going up, though.
Ticket prices are going up, which doesn't surprise me because these guys are shockingly good. They're in first place. No one guessed this. This is the most. This is the most wins ever had by a expansion team in any sport. These guys are great. That the people who are running the property, T-Mobile, they're not missing a beat. There's one little thing that they could probably do better, but we're not going to get into it.
Lower the price of beer?
Well, what are you going to do? It's
because that's $13.
It's like anything else. Not all beer is $13.
Yeah.
No.
If you want a draft beer at T-Mobile, it's $13.
Oh, a draft beer? But I could get a Bud, like a big Bud or a big Coors Light. It's not $13. Like $8.
No, it's like 11.
I don't even know. I don't buy that shit. Like, come on, what are you doing, man?
Right.
But yeah, so go. It's really a fantastic time. And as a matter of fact, the bar, the practice rink is great as well. It is fantastic. The Pops brought this up at the I don't even name the name of the place. What's it called?
It is
something
called,
Bank. Century Bank.
Well, no, the arena, the facility is City National Arena.
City National Arena.
But then the bar inside is Mackenzie Street Grill.
That's right, which has been a past Haddam.
Yeah.
And what's great about it,
you've been there.
Yeah, I have been there. The bar's in the middle. It's elevated, so on both sides there are practice rings, so you can watch the Golden Knights practice. They often have college hockey going on there, and it's a really cool vibe. It's kind of the go-to place for lunch meetings now is this bar, apparently. Like I was there, I saw 2 doctors that I've had. So I've had a 15, I'm like fucking Frankenstein now. But yeah, I saw my doctor. Hey, doctor, how are you? How are you? Well, I'm pretty good. Look at this. So go to Vegas Golden Knights games, go to the practice ring thing, just go to all of it because it's all absolutely fantastic. All right, and that's it.
Well, just like that.
Boom.
I feel like just a second ago it was 7 o'clock.
It was about an hour ago. Hey, if you guys want to reach out to us, you can do so. You can send an email to onairq@livinginlv.com. Again, onairq@livinginlv.com. Hey, if you want to send us a voicemail, you can. And we want to hear you because you've got a fantastic singing voice. Go to our homepage, vegasvideonetwork.com. Click that little red tab on the right-hand side. A little box will pop up, and you'll click Start Recording because you have a microphone attached to your computer. You're fancy like that. By the way, we're on all kinds of social media. Just look us up. We're there. Plus, we're on iTunes. We're on YouTube. We've got about 2,000 people subscribed to our YouTube channel. Roku, 73,000 accounts installed. We're on Stitcher, TuneIn, Chromecast, Apple, Google, and Fire TV, Google Play, and of course, the Vegas Video Network website as well. I'm your buddy Scott. That there is Wayne. We thank you for playing along with us. We'll see you guys next time on the Vegas Video Network's Living in Las Vegas podcast. Take care, everybody.